Hello and welcome back to another week. And I'm telling you, it's always good to bring on some good information. Of course, I've got two young men here that we got a great subject to talk about. And sometimes, hey, either the same people can come on and talk, or you can take that number off the screen and set up an appointment. I'll be more than glad to interview you. But make sure that when you come on, there's no selfishness or anything against anybody, but we just here to let's talk, get opinions and facts. Okay, this morning I want to welcome Lieutenant Liddell Young. How you doing again,
I'm doing
sir?
great.
I know you were here last week, but I had to bring you back again so
Yeah.
that we can talk about a great subject. And I also brought Bishop Vincent Pope back. You know, it's good when you can sit here with someone and really get the true feelings and get what's right. You know, one of the main things that's going wrong in our communities, and I'm not just speaking on one community, I'm speaking on communities, we seem to make wrong look right.
Yes.
And that's one of our biggest problems. You know it's wrong, but you're condoning it for what reason? And so we try to bring in different programs to help better our community, help better our people, help better our parents, help better our children. And most of the programs that come into the community, and maybe you guys can help me out, they're free.
Yes.
Health is free. Programs for your children, and I know they say a lot of them are costly, but there are some programs that are free.
Yes.
Everything can't be free, and sometimes free ain't free. You have to do something if it is no more than giving back. So if you give me something free, Bishop, now my giving back to you is I might have to come and cut your yard or something, or pick up trash around the church, or come to the county jail and do some work, not inside, but maybe I'm outside doing something.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying free. And so we're going to talk about a program that Lieutenant Young is going to provide in
Yes.
Gifford.
That's right. We're gonna have our first Gifford Citizens Academy starting August 29th. It's going to be a 10-week program, and it's going to basically give just an overview of what the criminal justice system, the components of the criminal justice system, and you know, how law enforcement works.
Tell us why you feel this program is needed.
Well, I mean, we know that historically, you know, there's been a lot of tensions, you know, in the past, and it continues to be problems between law enforcement and the African American community. And so Sheriff Lohr, Major Flowers have come up with this idea, was not mine, and to bring the academy to the Gifford community, because we know that we've had our recent issues, incidents that have come up in Gifford, and many members of the community in Gifford are questioning some of the actions of local law enforcement. So this academy gives the community an opportunity to see what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. And so we invite the community to come out and to be a part of this academy.
How does that sound to you, Vince? The Citizens Academy.
Well, listen, I have a Citizen Academy every Sunday at church. It's free. A word that's going to encourage you, going to inspire you, going to help you. And guess what? People don't like free. So every church should be packed out because it don't cost you anything. So when you look at this new Citizen Academy program, sometimes you can put it out there and say, why people don't have the mind to just come out? It's free, it don't cost you anything. But what happened is that before I became a pastor, I always viewed what a pastor should do. You know how I say, man, the pastor should do this, pastor should do that when I was just a member or a minister. But when you become a pastor, You find out, I see why Rev did that. And I think that's what this program will provide, that people begin to see the inside story of why they do what they do. Because sometimes when you're on the outside looking in, you be saying, this is what they should do, and this may be a way of really giving them some inside information.
Could I say this is almost like a diet? People look at it to see what's in it,
Yes.
what they should have and what they shouldn't have,
Right.
and why it's for a diet.
Absolutely.
So here we go. All the problems that are going on in the Gifford community, there's controversy between the citizens, some citizens, again, we're not going to
Some.
say all,
Yes.
about law enforcement, what they should do. And like you said, when you say you thought the pastor should do this, you thought the pastor, but when you became a pastor.
Right.
So it's the same thing with a citizen, because they need to know what is required of law enforcement and what is required of the citizen. And it wouldn't be so much problems going on like they are now, because right now there's a lot of hatred. You mind?
Yes.
Let's just tell it like it is. I don't know, in our culture, and this is my opinion, in our culture, we are quick to get hatred in us
Yeah.
against someone.
Listen, let's be clear. We know that historically, you know, the relationship between law enforcement and the black community has not been good, and for good reasons. You know, every January before Martin Luther King Day, what do we see? What footage do we see? We see the footage of the African Americans, the law enforcement sticking the dogs on them, they being sprayed by fire hoses, and to be honest with you, we need not forget that happened. But for some, it's not a matter of forgetting, but it's not for forgiving and less moving forward with this community of law enforcement that we have today. Because if we just stay in the past, we'll never break down those barriers. But let me say this. Anytime there's an incident, and John, my brother calls me, trust me. Anytime there's an incident that goes on, it's a high-profile incident, he'll call me, hey, what's your thoughts on that? And I'm going to be honest, sometimes we agree. Most times we do agree. Sometimes, you know, not that we disagree, but maybe we just need more information. Yeah, two different views on it. But see, this academy will allow our local citizens to see and to see firsthand, because we're going to have patrol. Our patrol division will give a presentation on what they do when they respond to domestic calls. What do they do when they respond to when they're doing traffic stops? We're going to have one of our traffic units give a presentation on traffic stops. We're going to have our special operations unit. Why do we have the helicopter up there? We're going to have our K-9 unit not only give a presentation, why sometimes people get bit by the dog. You know, they'll do a K-9 demo. So we're only gonna have 35 slots. So there's no reason why this class should not be full. We should have a waiting list, because so many people come out when things happen. So many people come out and gripe to the sheriff, local government officials about, why did the deputies do this? Why did the officers do this? Come to this academy, and we're going to show you exactly why we do what we do. Not that every action that we do or take is justifiable, because that's not the case. But we're going to, they will see that law enforcement have to make split-second decisions, and most of the time we do get it right. Some of the times we don't.
And I can say this, because you know, we have always talked about, I was on the other side of the fence for a long time. And one of the things I teach some of the young men, and I didn't know this at the time, when the officer tell you put your hands on the car, he means put your hands on that car. Now, at that time, I was in the Highlands at 7-Eleven, and me and my wife had some issues going on, and I was on the other side of the fence. When I see law enforcement officers, I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me nothing. Talk to her. And that man said, put your hands on the car. I say, for what? And he said, put your hand. I say, for what? And I got to put my hand. And before you know it, I was pepper sprayed, and they got beat across the head. And now I'm with the law enforcement. Them people tell you, put your hands on the car.
Put your hands on the car.
Yes,
and
sir.
it's settled in court. But just obey what they're telling you, and sometimes you can keep Now, even if that officer wanted to do that to me, I gave him all the right. Because all he had to do, all I had to do was put my hands on the car. Now, if he was aggressive to me, then I could have settled that somewhere else. But because I disobeyed,
It cost
that cost me.
you. Hey, you just hold that thought. We'll be right back in just a minute.